slabbing. First loses the spot. Blabbing about slabbing. SSB cards we got. Chris and Jeff, the card collecting crew. Talking SSDs just for you. Blabbing about slabbing.
Whoa.
First loses the spot.
Wait.
Blabbing about
Hold on.
slabbing.
There we go.
All right.
SSB cards
We're
we
back.
got. Chris and
Whoa.
Jeff,
Whoa. All right. So,
card collecting.
still working out some technical issues. Oh, Chris, I know you're not a basketball fan, but you had to have heard about Wemby today.
I did. That's the Slender Man guy, right? The big lanky dude.
Yes. The biggest, lankiest dude.
Oh, well, we got a goal. A USA just scored in the hockey game, Jeff. So I see that in the comments. That's cool.
Very nice. Thanks for the update, SFO.
Whew.
Yeah, Jonathan, it's tough to be a big guy. It is tough to be a big guy.
Are you? I mean, again, I don't know anything about basketball, like outside of the basic rules of the game. By the way, Jeff, we got to switch sides. This feels wrong.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
But I don't know. Do we think there's a chance that the clotting issues he's having could be related to his size, or is it just
Somebody, I went live today on our Spitballing channel with Teapot to talk a little bit about the news, and there were a couple people in the comments that had personal experience with issues and it affecting tall folks more. So I'm not sure about the exact medical conditions, but it would make sense to me. That's a lot of body to cover for those.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah,
it sure
exactly.
is.
Yes, and our resident educator will.
Okay.
Long
I'm going to assume those are words.
Yeah.
I've never seen the word long before, so that's new.
Yeah.
But-
So sadly, we're not going to have Wemby's doc on. No special guest. You're just stuck with the two of us tonight.
Yeah. So get out now if you need to.
At least as
Yes.
far as we know.
As M. Parsons so correctly says. But it's not just any cocktail tonight, Jeff. I actually thought about coming out in a suit with like a corsage and maybe a little bouquet. But
It would have been
those of you
nice.
who don't know, it's Jeff and the Blabbin About Slabbin 2-year YouTube anniversary today.
It is, and had I known more in advance than when Instagram informed me, I would have made more of a deal of it. But I didn't have it on the calendar. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what happens when two guys do a show together, Jeff. We're not going to remember anniversaries. I think that's all but guaranteed. But yeah. Shelly the Turtle is smart. He only invests in players who are 7 feet tall and shorter, and I think that's smart.
That's the limit. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Altuve is a good one.
Yeah, I assume his heart barely has to work, to get blood around his tiny little body.
So Will's looking for a story, the story of how you got the show off the ground, and we actually started on Instagram, Chris.
We did. Our first couple shows were actually the first few months we were on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And our first episode, you can find it on our IG pages. It's really funny. It's bad. There's a lot of just awkward staring into the camera, neither of us saying anything, and then both of us talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Just repeatedly.
And that's especially hard on IG because then if I say something and you say something, it blocks out. So there's just silence.
Yeah, it's like watching bad dubbing.
Yeah.
Our mouths are moving, but you couldn't hear anything. It was. I think we had like 22 people that first time. Most of them were just making fun of us, which at least we have more people now. They're still making fun of us, but at least we have
now there's more people to make fun of us. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Well, anyway. See, we have a calendar. She keeps the calendar, Curator of Cardboard, in the house, so it's written there. So as long as I just casually glance at our calendar, like say bi-weekly, by which I mean every other week, I usually can stay pretty on top of things. Pretty on top of
Pretty
things.
on top of things.
Nobody's perfect, but there you go. It'll be funny, Jeff, to see what they come back with. I do want to tell a quick utter nonsense story today, but you guys, everyone here has experienced getting a terrible song stuck in their head. And it's weird how it can happen sometimes. We have a dog, and our dog is like 17 years old. She has dementia. She gets lost in the house. She gets frequently lost, but she'll just like start doing something that's extremely dangerous, like just walking off the edge of a couch, or if she falls down, we have 2 steps in our house. She falls down them constantly. So I dropped like burning hot food on the floor. She went to pick it up and I could see steam. She went to grab it. And I'm like, Maggie. And I said, like, you can't touch that.
Oh, boom,
and
boom, boom, boom.
Just like that, I paused, like, brain, don't do it. Don't do it, brain. And MC Hammers, you can't touch this, has pretty much
the hammer pants running through your mind.
I can't, I just can't get rid of it. Not even our Blabbin song would cure it, Jeff. I was hoping
we should have just played Blabbin about 6 or 7 times. That might have got it out. Oh, yeah. So is Maggie okay?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't. She's so scared of me because she doesn't know who I am. Unfortunately, that she just saw me moving and like kind of ran and then banged her head into a bar stool.
Joey, I'm not sure where this is coming from. Back then, were you devastated when you guys lost Hader? No. I think the writing was already on the wall. If you've listened to us for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of paying closers. So he was great. And he passed the torch on to Devin Williams, who was also great. And now they're gone. No, not devastated.
Interestingly, they both were really, really good, but they also both suffered losses in season-ending playoff games for you guys.
Big, memorable losses.
Yeah. But hopefully the young guy you got from the Yankees will be a pretty exciting middle infielder moving forward.
Yeah, or at least, we'll see. He's going to be in camp. He stole a lot of bases in the fall. I'm hoping Nestor Cortez kind of recaptures a little bit of the magic he first had when he burst onto the scene with New York, and less of the magic he had at the end of last season.
Yeah. Michael Stone and Adam Machetta. Yeah, those are. It's tough. It's not a song you want to be humming.
Hey, you know what what came on my playlist in the gym yesterday was Too Legit to Quit. Remember that video, Chris, with Deion Sanders, all the athletes? Yeah,
that's a good one. He also had the Addams Family song, I think, for the sequel. They pretty much all those songs are the same song. It's just very, very slightly different.
Just slightly different beats, slightly different words. I get this. Tough guy to like. You're right. Where I lost that comment, but Joey always, he was spectacular, almost unhittable. He was, but he was unhittable until he was hittable in a big game, and that's what happened.
But anyway, you got it? Great.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff and I want to start tonight with 2 pickups of ours.
Yes.
We haven't really been buying a ton of cards of late, which is sad. But we each did pick up a card recently. I got one at the West Coast Card Show, formerly the Burbank Card Show. And you never see stuff like this just sitting in a dealer case. So I got really, really excited. And shout out to our buddy Jake, who also spotted a 2018 Buster Posey Topps SSP that was like half covered by a slab. It was just sitting there in a top loader. And Eagle Eye Jake, who it's difficult for him too, because he's like 6'7". Speaking of guys who are prime for injuries, and he managed to see all the way down into this case and spot half that Buster Posey card. So good job for him.
Young baseball eyes working.
Yes. But I grabbed this really cool Acuna 2020 update SSP. It's part of the back of jersey kind of subset that's in there. Let me get the glare off if I can. Maybe I can. I love this card.
Extended back of jersey. That's a bonus for back of jersey when you got the arms extended in a celebratory pose.
Very, very cool image. It's a PSA 9, which is completely fine with me. There are only 2 PSA 10s, and I've never seen either one of them. So I'm excited. It was pretty cheap. It's $150 or $15 if my wife is watching, which seems like a pretty easy grab. So I'm excited. The sound of balls hitting is bad in spring training, Jeff. It's already.
I tell you, the sound of some wood hitting baseballs, like those Harper videos. If you've seen those, and the Acuna, makes it feel like spring for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Ryan Brody, the disrespect on nines is kind of crazy. I get it for like high pop stuff. Then obviously you've wasted some money grading your base card. But yeah, for rarer stuff, it seems like nines just get completely disrespected.
Yeah, how much would you have to pay for one of those 10s?
I would if it was me listing it, I would list it at like $8.99 or something and take offers.
Yeah.
There's only one other one, so you can kind of command whatever you want.
Yeah. There were some comments about Bobby Miller. They're wondering if you had bought a Bobby Miller card yesterday or today to celebrate spring training starting, and poor guy.
I did not buy a Bobby Miller card, and in fact, I kept him. I'm in 3 fantasy leagues, 2 with Jeff, and I kept him in both leagues that I had him last year, both with Jeff. And on one of them, like I'm starting to with their keeper leagues, I'm starting to thin out the roster, and he's just been sitting there on my IL. So I actually dropped him yesterday. So usually that would I would
maybe the reverse curse. This is the year for the reverse curse.
I mean, we shouldn't be too surprised, Jeff. Can it continue again? I mean, I don't know. We'll find out, but it's possible that maybe I'm reversing things this year. We'll see.
Michael's asking what that Acuna would go for ungraded. I don't know.
That's a good question. Do you want to talk about what you picked up? I'll look up and see if I can find any sales.
Oh yeah. Should we look at this clear?
We'll have to look right through it, Jeff.
Yep. So it's no surprise Chris and I do go for a good clear from time to time. Let me take it out of its case. And we also like a good rookie cup. So here's our most recent pickup. Future Stars and the rookie cup on the same card. Same clear card. Pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm still kind of by the way, again, so yeah, Jeff and I did buy an Aaron Judge card, so hold on to your hats.
Yeah,
it's either going to be really good or really bad. I've said before, I'm kind of haunted by his tops, the black parallel of this that sold like last preseason. So we get a shot at this clear one, and we figure let's grab it. It's very rare you get a Future Star and a Gold Cup on the same card, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Michael Stone, to answer your question, the last raw sale was last May for $155. And a couple PSA 8s have sold since then. One for like 130 and one for all the way down to like 85. So
the back of these are pretty nice too. It's always like a black and white version at the front.
SFO Sox fan says that's at Fenway. I'm going to trust him on that.
Yep.
Joey K says he accidentally called me Tim. That's all right. You got the vowel right.
Tim.
That's all right.
Oh boy, Mad City Brew bringing up some memories. We did go to the show. A quick recap: there was a card there we were interested in at $400, but once we got out the cash, the price changed to $450, and so we were less interested, and it was
very frustrating,
kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, to be fair, we pulled the money out like 90 seconds after we'd agreed on the price, so maybe he had time to glance at his phone for a second and see that.
Then he paused and wanted to take just say, "Let me look at my phone," and went to some mysterious website. I believe it was Facebook or OnlyFans, and said he should be getting $500.
Yeah, but oh well. I mean, it's all right.
Oh, Jacob, you should have said hello. You could have. Our eyes started to glaze over looking at all the cards. So it was nice to get a distraction from the cards.
Yeah, anytime you see us, please say hello. Especially if you see us around the bar area. Then we're extra social there.
Yeah. Yeah. And we did have to
the Shark Tank technique. That's really funny. Yeah, that was a cool card. That was a Hank Aaron auto was that card in question. It's just your typical Hank Aaron, like half the auto was sliding off the card, but that just means it was him.
Yep, it was him. Probably one of his later autos, and yeah, hadn't seen it before.
Battery, that would have been a smooth move to pull out some Canadian dollars.
We should just have some handy in our pockets when we go to the show. That's not a bad idea.
I would say that. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just getting out my 415 Canadian.
No, I was gonna say that interaction was about 11:30 in the morning, maybe around noonish. We left the show right as it was kind of winding down. It was closing at 7. I think we walked out around 6:30, and we walked right by him, and we're like, "Hey, just $400. Like, obviously, no one else wants this card." We didn't say that, but that was still there. But like, we'll still take it on the way out. And he's like, "Nope, can't do it.
Pass."
Like, all right.
Yeah, and we were there with Jake. mentioned earlier, who picked up the Posey, and he said the same dealer tried similar shenanigans on him.
Curated Cardboard, I love the callback here. That's really funny. All right, while we're pausing for a second, I'm going to pull up the trivia link and attempt to copy it into the chat. It's possible. Hopefully, Jeff, we got our little technical issue out of the way early here.
Yeah, usually it's one a show, so I think we did. Michael Stone, it's a question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
When did Topps start using SSPs? You guys got me starting to think about getting some Mauer stuff.
Ooh. The first like official one was 2012. They started variations in like 2009 with like a bunch of legends, and Sabathia he was the first active player to have one. But in 2012, they actually had two. They did the regular variations. They're in 2010 as well, but they haven't really said some are shorter printed than others. But in 2012, they did I want to say it was like 13 SPs, and then they did two that they actually announced were going to be harder to pull. Pujols as an Angel and Reyes, I believe, as a Marlin. I think, or maybe is it a Marlin, or I think he's a Marlin.
I can't remember who he's.
I think that's what it is. So those are kind of the first two like official announced super short prints from Topps.
Any Mauers you can think of?
Yeah, SFO Sox fan has that's probably the coolest flagship SSP that Mauer has. 2015. Yeah. Absolutely incredible card. I don't think there's any for sale anywhere, but if you just Google it, you should be able to find an image of it. Yeah, Curated Cardboard. That's incredible. In 2013, he's got an SP. It's him he's reaching to catch a foul ball. And there's a Chrome version of that in 2013 Topps Chrome. That's definitely an SSP, but those are virtually impossible to ever find. But good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck.
I would say those are the two best. The 2013 Chrome and the 2015 Dugout.
Thank you for these well wishes, M. Parsons. Hopefully that guy found out that night he needs dental surgery that costs $400 and he just can't quite get it.
Well, he was certainly not. He's no... that's mean. I won't say that. This is our trivia prize today. We just got a nice little Shohei Ohtani Topps Chrome Refractor.
Yeah.
We had a couple people, a couple fans of the show donated some prizes for us to give away. So this is one of the nicer ones. This card actually looks really good.
I appreciate that, guys. Yeah. Thank you. This Joey. So we've made several videos on this. When you think of any autograph, even way back there, SPs, they're SPs in the fact that they are short printed. They're printed less than the main cards. But when we're talking about SPs or SSPs, we're talking about the photo variation. So usually they'll share the same card number. It'll just be a different photo for an SP, and sometimes a different photo or another different photo for an SSP. Yeah,
it's annoying nomenclature. Basically, lots of cards are short printed, but an SP is like when used as a noun, it's a different thing.
Right. So it's not numbered. Obviously, an orange to 25 is a short print by definition, but it's not really the SP that we're talking about.
And actually, thank you, Adalda's here. It did correct me. There are, I think there 4 or 5 back in 2007, and they are like Tulowitzki is by far the biggest name. I want to say like Travis Ishikawa has one.
Random ones.
You're gonna have to look that up. It's almost like they made him by mistake, but by far Troy Tulowitzki is the best one. I want to say if you want to see a picture of it, there's one on the IG page belonging to Colorado Collector. I believe he has one, but those are so weird. I wish off the top of my head I could come up with the other 5 guys, but they're like. It's a really weird thing that Topps did. I'm not really sure why they did that.
Yeah, it almost seemed like a mistake, but not necessarily.
Yeah, Thomas 99. That one is really cool. Like the Pujols got some great ones when he came back to the Cardinals. Jeff, I think his 2022 update is him pitching.
Yeah, which is one of my favorites that I don't have.
Yeah, that one. I think that's on both of our lists as one to pick up at some point. Yeah, and then he's got that one after he homered. He's like tipping his cap, and it's great. It's great.
Brewers Kill is talking about the true photo variations. True photo variations are really hard to find, but man, that's a great addition that Fanatics hasn't got enough credit for.
Yeah, that's one of their best new parallels. I'm not saying it excused the temporary pause on the Topps Black, but that's a really cool idea. Some of these cards look amazing. They look like little posters. Andrew Miller. I should just look it up. I'm sitting here on my computer, Jeff. I could probably find that list.
Computer.
But
Yeah, a great Shohei reward. I don't.
Yep.
We were talking about this a little bit with Teapot today when we were talking about Wemby, and we were trying to make some baseball parallels. I had brought up when Acuna went down the season right after his MVP, and it's similar. He wasn't quite playing at MVP level that season when he went down, but it was still similar. And maybe Otani, the first time he went down with injury, and then there were some people in the chat talking about how they did pick up cards then, and I said I was much too gun shy to pick up cards then, and we waited probably until they're much more expensive, but also he had established himself a little bit.
Yeah, it's scary. Like it's scary for Wembanyama. Am I saying that right?
Very
Like
good.
anytime it's internal, like I feel like that's it stopped kind of. We have to kind of put a pause on the whole.
Yeah, because some
hard
people were
aspect
saying,
of it.
well, at least it's not a broken bone or a shoulder. And I was thinking, well, he's 21. That can heal. But if it's a blood clot issue, I guess he's going to be on blood thinners for several months. And hopefully that clears it up and can be a one-time thing. But I don't know. I'm a little more gun shy about that sort of health scare than a traditional injury.
Yeah, seriously. And that guy on blood thinners, Jeff, I mean, legitimately, how far does his blood have to travel? I feel like when you put someone on blood thinners, everything has to pump harder because there's less blood getting, shot around. So I don't know. I'm worried for him. I hope he's going to be okay. I hope he comes back because I know there's a lot of people out there. Man, there's a lot of money in his stuff. What did Teapot say the number was on Market Movers for like the amount of money that's
$43 million was the last number in Wemby cards that have been sold.
SFO Sox saying we cannot.
And Dave's questioning your knowledge of how blood thinners work.
Yeah, I mean that's probably fair. All I know is my dad's been on them for like 20 years, and if he like bumps into a corner, he will bleed for hours.
Yes, that's the danger, right?
Hours. Like he ruined a sofa on in one of the lounges on that cruise ship I was on with them. And he was like, I didn't even know I've been bleeding. But anyway.
Yes, that'll be part of this spin-off show, Baseball Card Addict MD.
Listen, you know what questions to ask me and what questions not to ask me.
All right, here's something you might be more interested in. Roy Halladay's 2012 Topps Chrome batting. Just a random throw from Ellen Forrest. Yes,
that's a fantastic card.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave Dixon is a pharmacist by training. So yeah, let's direct all of our medical questions.
Yeah, between Doc, we've got a lot of medical professionals in here. So it sounds like the biggest issue is if it's going to be a lifelong concern or if they're able to take care of this as a singular issue. And we'll find that out probably next year. Yeah.
There was a question in there. ATL Jeff Black asked how we feel about the gold mirrors out of Series 1. A lot of them have been really disappointing. I was a handful are fantastic. I think the Freddie's great. The Kershaw's great. The Aaron Judge is great. There's a couple other like Brandon Finnegan. Brandon? Is it Kyle Finnegan? Oh, whoever it is. The guy who closed for I think it's Brandon. Might be Kyle. The guy who closed for the Nationals has that great horizontal one. M. Parsons, that is not exactly what she called me. Where he's like in the outfield with his name behind him. That card's awesome. All right, I will tell that story very quickly. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was really sick for about 10 days, and I missed almost 2 weeks of school. And when I came back, like my first day back, we had health was one of the classes we had to take that semester, and we had an exam. And the teacher just didn't care that I hadn't been there and didn't know. She's like, well, you still have to take it. It was on the
know that you hadn't been there.
Well, she knew, but she just didn't care. Like she was anyway, she had a good sense of humor, but she was also kind of mean. Anyway, the test was on the menstrual cycle. And I obviously failed this test as I would fail it today. But when she graded it, she gave everyone their test back and she made like an announcement. She said I got a 0.02%. So I had to,
how many questions were on there?
Well, I had to explain. I was like, excuse me, I think you just forgot to to get the percentage, you got to, multiply by 100. So I got the 2% on there. I did get one question right. So she took to calling me Dr. Parsons fertility expert for the rest of the semester. Not once giving me any apologizing for making me take the test or saying maybe no retest, nothing. Just mockery for the next 2 months.
I'm sure Dr. Parsons was a hit with all the ladies.
As much then as today, Jeff.
Yeah. Mookie Chilson, this sounds like a question for Dr. Parsons. I can't.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure mansplaining how percentages worked really helped me get into her good graces after she produced my grade. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, Doc's cards. That's exactly right. I remember one of the parts of the exam was a calendar, and you were just supposed to fill it in. I'm like, I don't understand what you want me to do. For one of the answers, I just wrote, "Don't you? I was sick. I don't know what this is."
And that's the one you got right.
She put like an X through it. Like, no, that's the incorrect answer. I'm like, all right. But anyway.
Jim in Florida throwing this out. This was brought up today when we were talking about Wemby, that the big winners might be vintage and Pokemon.
Yeah.
People decide to move into safer places, which probably makes a lot of sense, Chris, but it's just, I don't know. Just,
I mean, Pokemon's really booming. There's no doubt about it. We saw a lot of Pokemon at the Burbank show, the West Coast Card Show. It's starting, honestly, our good buddy Filmington is starting to say Pokemon characters a lot more than he used to. I feel like that's a bad sign.
Yeah, he's definitely into the Pokemon wax as well, as is Scott. So I feel like it's hitting the mainstream, Chris.
Yes.
Not yet us. Jacob's got a question about the show. It was my first show. I was surprised at how much vintage was there. Was that the normal amount? I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Probably. I want to say I'm not going to repeat the comment, but Carlisle Rude had an extremely funny comment back there. I'm not going to put it up, but I laughed at it. I had to go back and read it again. Anyway, you guys can read that on your own. I enjoyed it. I feel like, I mean, yeah, there's a decent amount of vintage every time, and we are always like really interested in vintage stuff that's signed and like certified, autographed. But then you go to you go to the next row and there's two more dealers that have it again, and then two more dealers that have it again, and you realize that like maybe it's not as rare. I mean, obviously current like modern signed stuff, Jeff, is absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like it's vintage is really appealing until you see it all in one room and just see how much there is. I mean, there were guys with cases full of mantle cards, and you just think, what do you do?
To be fair, though, I'll play devil's advocate here, Jeff. Ultramodern we're drowning in it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think that makes sense, but I don't trust high grade vintage. And so I feel like it's, I don't know. Not for me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the stuff we would want, we long can't afford, or for sure can't afford. There's some stuff I would love to get, like a low grade Aaron rookie with an auto on it. That would be great. I'd take like a card with like the back ripped off or something. That'd be really cool. Same thing. I'll take any mantle with an auto on it. Something like that. I did like do I have it around? No. That World Series batting foe card with Mantle and Aaron from 1958 was like one of the first cards my dad ever got me. It's one of the things that like hooked me in collecting. So
yeah,
where they're long-term collecting
each other.
Yeah, is a shot as a copy of that card with both autos on it. But I mean, now we're talking like 5 figures minimum. But that's one I probably would sell like a bunch of Freddies to get into something like that.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of comments here too, and it makes sense. But I'm with you, Thomas, and I'm with you, John. I get excited about watching the players I have seen play and that I can see play. I don't know. There's just something about feeling like you have an investment in watching them play. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't feel that unreasonable. Like Phil could show up at the National with this and like a wife beater, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like a dirty white tank top and a Charizard slab around a necklace, wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Cardboard Showcase says he thought about 40%. Felt like 40% was Pokemon. I don't know.
And the other 40% was cards that he sold to the show, probably, or the other 60%. Right? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I do like the look of some vintage cards. So I don't know. I find myself like Jeff and I say all the time, we have to like look into it. We have to learn about it. And then we just don't do it. So obviously I think we're making a choice, even if we're not, it's like a passive choice.
Yes, for sure. Michael loves vintage. John, exactly that. Yeah, high grade vintage. Very, very sure it's altered, trimmed, soaked, fixed.
I mean, if it's slabbed, it's slabbed. I mean, at least there's that. I assume everything modern, ultra modern as slab has been something's been done to it. Jim in Florida. Problem with modern is they'll still be opening 1988 tops 50 years from now. Absolutely, but that's why no one the 1988 tops is dirt cheap and also fun to rip. By the way, if you ever open up a box of like 87 tops, which Jeff and I did about, I think last year we opened up one, and 89 Donruss, the smell of those cards alone when you open up that first pack, it's like an explosion of nostalgia right into your nose.
Yep, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay. Unrelated to that, I want to get into some IG shout outs for a minute, because there were some really cool cards this week, as there always are. But I want to talk about some images on some stuff. So give me a sec. Okay. All right. I want to start with our good buddy Canadians of the Hobby, Jeff.
Worried about this as well, After Hours Collector. Yes, we're very worried about this. Vintage is going to take a huge hit when the boomers all fade away. There are some younger collectors for sure, but I am worried about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, outside of Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, like, people will always know those names. But how many people are going to be talking about Carl Hubble like 20 years from now? Or even Al Kaline, unfortunately, is probably another guy that might just fade away. I hate to use that terminology, but
yeah. Agreed. And BFG says, I got into vintage for a hot minute, thought restoration is a really cool idea before I realized the backlash against it. Yes, there's different thoughts about that for sure, but it is what it is. It's just out there. If you're going to be involved in that market, you probably already own some fixed cards.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a piece that we all make with ourselves. Anytime you buy something in a slab, you have to think there's a chance that someone has done something to this card, one way or the other. Shelly, thank you for sharing the trivia link again. Jeff said these questions were harder than last week, so
I don't think we're going to get a trio at 700 again tonight, but you never know.
Yeah, I may have overcorrected, but we'll see. So you never know. Someone could shock us. And Michael Stone, we should always be talking about Al Kaline. For goodness sake, his name is on half the batteries we use.
Al Kaline.
All right, so first card up. Canadians of the Hobby has this. This is the Topps Chrome Update Evan Carter image variation. I'm not thrilled, Jeff, that they put image variations of a lot of the same guys in Update that have variations in regular Topps Chrome. It's just muddying the already very muddy waters.
Yeah.
However, anytime you give us an image variation of a guy getting his World Series ring, that is spectacular.
World Series rings and trophies are really where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool shot.
Yeah, on your rookie card, you're getting a World Series ring on your rookie card. I mean, it's a shame they didn't like really short print maybe 25 autos of this.
And to be fair, he really played a big role in getting that ring. That was his coming out party, and a little bit rough sophomore campaign. Hard to live up to that.
Sure, he hit about $170 in the 30 games that he played. But yeah, he was like hitting third for a lot of these playoff games for Texas. He was a huge part of that World Series. His arms also look a bit bigger on this card than they did in that 2024 card or 2025 card we were looking at. So yeah, I love this. I think this is a really great card, and I'm hoping Evan Carter has a nice big bounce back. That whole Texas Ranger team, Jeff, seems poised for a bounce back.
Yeah, I think we'll see if they get some pitching. If they get some healthy pitching, they could do some damage.
Right? Well, we know someone who's just penciling in Jacob deGrom for 180 innings, but I'm not sure we can do that quite so comfortably. Hold on. Now I want to find this real quick. Hold on. This card, hold on. Get Topps Golden Mirror. Have you seen the Adolis Garcia Golden Mirror?
No, is it just his arms?
Yes. Hold on.
Jorge says had a whole ring night and gave Seager a golden mirror in a suit.
Yeah, right? I mean, brutal. This is Adolis Garcia's.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was right. Great shot.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite. This is probably a top 20 image for the golden mirrors. I actually just read something about him because fantasy baseball is starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was really dinged up last year. He had like a couple leg issues that really affected his swing and his ability to run, but he just kind of toughed it out. But he was awful last year. Like
Also, his uniforms probably couldn't fit. Those new uniforms couldn't fit over his arms, so that probably constricted his swing a little bit.
Yeah, so he might be a real interesting late round sleeper in your fantasy leagues. But I mean, good Lord, what are we talking about? That's got to be like a 30-inch bicep, Jeff.
That's insane. Yeah.
All right, so let's do a quick jump here. Those are two card images that we like. I'm going to show you one of my absolute least favorite card images from 2024, and this one comes from Benor14 on Instagram. I mean, this is Aaron Judge coming off.
Now, as we found out, it's a pretty big moment, right? Isn't it, Chris?
He's just talking on the MLB Network after, I believe, after he received the Roberto Clemente Award.
That's huge. Put the award on there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they cropped out Harold Reynolds, so at least they got that right. But my goodness, this is just awful. This dude is an offensive machine. Nobody wants to see him in a suit, smiling, holding a microphone.
No, but if you're going to, the trophy is really well-respected trophy. Everybody acknowledges it. But at least then have him holding the trophy if you're going to put him in the suit like that.
Yeah, absolutely. They did that with McCutcheon's opening day SSP. I want to say back in like 2015 or 2014, one of those 2 years. That's a really cool card. But honestly, here, Jeff, he looks like he's hosting the $10,000 password or $10,000 pyramid.
He does. Dick Clark.
Yeah, this is just a frustrating card. And I talked to Ben about this. And actually, I think you can see my comment here where I say this is a horrible baseball card. But just like you and I, he's going for a set. So when you're trying to be a completist, Jeff, you have to buy cards you really don't like.
You have to buy the Yankees.
Yeah, you got to buy the Yankees. And worst of all, you got to buy Yankees just wearing suits. I mean, Judge has some incredible looking cards that I'm happy we own. Like that clear, I love. But this, easy pass. Just like that guy told us.
Pass. Resist another chance to put up the clear.
Yeah, there you go. All right. This one comes from Braves __ GB. This is Bobby Witt's 2025 Golden Mirror. And I want you guys to tell me how you feel about this card.
The first time I saw it, I thought it was David Wells. I just saw a quick look at it and I was like,
yeah, the way his hat is sitting, he looks like he just shaved his head.
And then I saw that it was Bobby Witt. I'm like, what? Apparently, the U.S. scored another goal. Congratulations.
Hey. All right, 2-1.
USA.
Matt McNeil mentions the ESPN baseball news. We will. I did want to talk about that in a few minutes. We'll get to that. I think that's pretty interesting. We'll see where that goes. Will Z is asking over/under on Judge and 50 home runs this year.
I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I think I'm. You always got to take the under. He's another year older. Oh, thank you, Ninja Squirrel.
Thanks, Ninja.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious. I see G3 Sports Card says I don't mind it.
It's not a ringing endorsement of a card that's supposed to be their best image.
No, that's like Krusty the Clown, Jeff, when he eats one of a Krusty burger for his commercial, and he says, "I don't mind the taste." It's not. It doesn't make you want it. It doesn't make you want to try it. Yeah, Will Z. I mean, it's not a great angle hairline wise.
Right. I mean, it's David Wells, and he's known for his giant mullet. Is he just?
You can kind of see the mullet under his ear here, but his hair looks like it's pulled back. I don't know. And Sal Perez is behind him here. It looks like he's playing a game on his phone.
Usually it's business in the front, party in the back. We're kind of looking like nothing in the front, party in the back.
That sounds like an inappropriate movie title, Jeff. Okay, JD Card says he likes it. Yeah, this is definitely a home run derby shot. And I like images from there because you got players kind of interacting with each other. Everyone's like happy. They're having a good time. They're watching guys hit bombs. Like I enjoy those. A lot of those 2016 update SSPs, Jeff, are from this night.
Our resident Royals fan checking in here, having Salvi in the background helps. And I agree. Okay. We love those multiple guys.
Yes, that was an opinion I was hoping to find. I was hoping to get tonight. So as a Royals fan, we don't love it, but Salvi, it probably makes you want one, right? You're not going to find one at a show, but I hope you're able to track one down for a reasonable price.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Professor. I appreciate this. Nothing in the front, party in the back is a technical term. It's called a skullet.
We're learning all kinds of fun stuff tonight, Jeff.
We sure are. Yeah.
Number 1, don't take medical advice from me. Number 2, the word skullet. All right. So we got some pretty good numbers signing up for trivia. Keep those coming. So anyway, this is I would have preferred Bobby Witt like on the field, but I don't hate this card. The more I look at it, the more I kind of like it.
It's
Okay.
It's good. It all gives us an idea of what he'll look like in 10 years.
If he's lucky, Jeff. If he is lucky. All right, hold on. So there's a Cubs account that I think a lot of us have discovered it recently on Instagram called Henry Rowan Gardner Cards, which is obviously a great Rookie of the Year reference. That movie has been playing nonstop on the MLB Network.
I know. Pray for spring training games so we can stop it.
Yeah, seriously. I do enjoy all the John Candy moments though. So that's great. And of course that movie gave us the memorable line. I think it's the only movie that has the line "funky butt lovin'." So at least the only movie that's appropriate for kids.
Right. I was going to say that probably appears in several movies.
Yeah, maybe nothing in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
So this card from Henry Rowan Gardner is Anthony Rizzo, and he actually says this is his SSP from 2017, and in the description, this was after the Cubs clinched Game 6 of the World Series in 2016 to force a Game 7. So that's a really cool moment.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So it's not the World Series winning moment; it's a World Series winning moment.
Correct.
World Series game. But that's really cool.
Yeah, I like this card a lot. This guy has some really cool Cubs stuff on there. If you're a Cubs fan, I would highly recommend checking that out.
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, the kid who plays Henry Rowan Gardner, I can't think of his name. Jeff, you might know it. His performance in that movie, and at this point, I've now watched chunks of it over the last 2 weeks. It's not as bad. It's not his worst performance by far. American Pie and American Pie 2, he is horrific. But in this movie, he's actually kind of likable, I gotta say.
He was decent in American Pie 1. No?
Maybe. I will also say that I think it's the most toned down Gary Busey performance that we ever got.
Yeah, those two terms usually aren't found in the same sentence. Toned down Gary Busey. The link to trivia is saying the game is finished.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Sorry. Yep. Hold on. Need to reset it. Thank you. Sorry, Jeff gave it a quick rundown.
BFB is saying the Beastie Boys coined the term mullet.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but
it sounds like it could be true. And in this day and age, Jeff, that's probably good enough.
That's good enough. Yeah. You hear it on the internet.
All right. So I reset it. I see 16 of you are already back in. Just hit that link again, please. Yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Okay. Where I wanted to show this gentleman. Hold on. Let me pull this up. All right. And another, sorry. This account is called KP2 Cards. And look at this Freddie Freeman, Jeff.
Yeah. It's like a little atomic action there.
That's exactly what it is. That is the, I want to say the fourth Topps Chrome Atomic Rookie Auto that we know of in the wild. I think there's 3 PSA 9s, and now this guy has recently surfaced and recently sold.
Does he say anything about why he doesn't have it graded? I'd be interested to know.
He just bought it raw. I guess I think actually that he bought it from someone who I guess just picked it up at a show, had a table, and some guy walked up, to his table and was like, "Are you buying?" and produced this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he picked it up. I want to say I remember Phil sent that link or that image from, I think this is that one. I think it was from a Facebook group, I think. But either way, this is card number 5 out of 10. Little player number match there, if that matters to you. Jersey match.
Oh yeah, the jersey number, right?
Yeah. So this is incredible. It's got to be one of his best autos, one of his best rookie autos. But I want to ask the chat here. What percentage would you say of Bryce Harper, collectability wise, is Freddie Freeman? So like, if Bryce Harper's card sells for $100, what would we expect that same Freddie Freeman card to sell for? I'm just curious what you guys think, because a Harper Atomic Rookie Auto sold about 2 weeks ago. And then this card sold within the last week. So I'm curious what you guys would expect the prices to be.
I know a little bit of these sales, so I will keep my mouth shut for now on this.
Okay, I see 65, 70%, equal. Interesting.
He's definitely more
80%,
consistent,
70%.
right? But he doesn't have the same highs, maybe. I mean, until the moments, of course. But as far as the dominant seasons, Harper had those couple monster seasons.
Yeah, Harper's got 2
MVP.
MVPs and 1 postseason MVP. Freeman's got 1 MVP and a World Series MVP and a moment in the World Series that we'll be seeing forever. What I'm seeing in the comments, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff, is about 70% and up seems to be.
Yes, there's some guesses that it's 50, should be 80, but 50, 40, 45, 70, 80. Teeth or no teeth, I guess, is the question.
Well, this is definitely a rookie year. Come on, we got this is pre-veneer money.
Ethical Sox fan does make a good point. Harper's got some great images, so that probably helps his collectability, right?
Okay, fair enough.
Before the World Series, curators saying 70-30 Harper after 55-45, closing the gap. All right, which is
I would say the same thing. It definitely, the gap definitely closed. Freeman got a lot of, and the fact they now play the same position, Jeff, I think kind of closes that gap as well. Yeah, I think okay, give me a second. What Wilsey Sports Cards here is saying is, the high end stuff is definitely closer to 50. And I think that's pretty accurate. So for a little bit of information here, this Atomic card sold for about $3,600. Excuse me. So sub $4,000, which sounds like a pretty good buy. Yeah. You can tell the centering is off. And I believe the guy said it had a couple little surface marks. So it's probably considered a PSA 8, but there's 10 of them. So does the grade matter a ton? It wouldn't to you or I, but I could certainly see it mattering to others. Anyway, so again, that price, I'm going to show you the Atomic Harper sale. If I can find it. Where did I put it? Right over here. So this is Bryce Harper's Atomic Rookie. And the lighting, this went up on Fanatics Collect about 2 weeks ago. The lighting, they did a really great job photographing it. This card is pretty spectacular.
Great job. Great job photographing.
So anybody should we just have them guess? You want to guess what it went for?
Yeah. All right. So you gave us the price on the Freeman. So judging from the percentages, let's ballpark it. If people were saying 50%, it'd probably be about a little under 8,000, 7,500, 8,000.
Yeah, and that price is basically what you and I paid for our Atomic Freeman as well. And I know that there was a lot of back and forth on this raw sale. So, I know it was shopped around. So I feel like that price, it wasn't just like two people agreeing in the dark. It did have a little bit of a public action to it.
All right, we got a lot of guesses here. 15, 10, 12, 9.5, 9, 3.5, 13, 7.5, 15, 5, 11, 5, 11, 5. It's funny because with people guessing their guess, I'm not sure if these are the same people that were making the previous guesses, but these guesses are much higher than
right.
Or they put Freeman at like 25 to 40%.
I will say there is something. Maybe the grade helps. This is a BGS 9.5. It is a True Gem Plus. Whereas you look at that Freeman and you can see the centerings, it can't possibly grade this high. So maybe a slight grading premium as well. Anyway, let's end the suspense. None of you would have won the card. It went for $17,300.
Yeah. So
either some people, and that's at an auction, so that's multiple bidders. Either someone drastically overpaid for this, or the Freeman maybe Freeman still is undervalued. I don't know.
Carlisle's saying that we're comparing a True Gem to a raw card. I just don't think it really matters that much when it's out of 10. But
that's
be right.
Yeah. Generally speaking, absolutely. But out of 10, or a red out of 5, like how much of a bump? There just aren't any of these cards. There's no actual public sale of that Freddie Freeman card. Ever. Justin Vincent, you're compared to Harper, I think we're all boring, right?
Yeah.
Harper's got everything going for him. A lot of swag, a lot of hype, tons of energy.
Shots.
Yeah. A really angry city that loves him.
Yeah, but these are all valid points. Shelley's thrown out Freeman is boring, but his counting stats are not. Yes, he's been the more consistent player. He's incredible, but he at the same time he just doesn't have the same swag.
No, he doesn't have the swag. Despite, I mean, all that could change with a really good Topps Chrome SSP of him holding that bat. Things could change, but let's not forget Freeman is, as we've learned on this show through our trivia, Freeman's the active leader in hits, doubles, RBIs, and runs,
and shows no sign of slowing down. Harper doesn't have a ring. Exactly. And it's looking like it's getting tougher and tougher with these teams that he's matched up against in the National League.
Yeah, I want him to get a ring. Jeff and I both like Bryce Harper, despite rooting for teams that he has to beat to get to the World Series, but we both like him. But man, oh man, I'm afraid that 20 years from now, he's going to look back at that 2023 NLCS, and it's going to keep him awake.
Yep. And this too, Steven. I mean, I would say Freeman's visibility, likability, and collectability all took a huge bump last year with all the stuff that he went through and still came out and performed on the field, including, of course, the family issue with his son and several injuries.
Yep.
So yeah, I without that, I don't know, would Freeman be 10 times? I mean, would Harper be 10 times Freeman? It's just,
he might. He certainly might. Hold on. Where is this? Thomas 99. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Thomas 99. Anytime I see the Simpsons references, it has to go up to be discussed and dissected. Yes, the Simpsons would call this the moment when, quote, baseball becomes mildly interesting. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Curator, Freddie's consistency is going to eventually override Harper. Freddie puts together a few more huge moments. Harper fading, in my opinion, with baked in hype starting so young. Maybe. And the other thing, too, is now that Harper is a full-time infielder, he's not going to get first baseman. He's not going to get that same potential WAR boost that he got in the outfield. So he's going to be competing on a more even playing field.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting because we know there's no direct correlation between stats and collectability or how much the hobby loves players. But these two are going to be real interesting moving forward because Freeman is lined up to be Freeman and Harper could butt heads in the playoffs every year for the next 3 years.
Yeah. And Ryan makes a good point. This is a good example of rings not really mattering when it comes to Major League Baseball collecting. And I'd say compared to other sports, that's absolutely true. But it can also provide some rocket fuel to those players that do get it. So if Harper ever gets his and adds that to all the other stuff that make him who he is, I'd say
especially Jeff, if he's holding up that World Series MVP trophy too.
Yeah.
And it feels like he has to keep for them to win. It feels like it has to.
You would have to carry it. Yeah.
All right. I see a lot of comments about Harper's banana bread and something about a yogurt recipe. I didn't realize Harper was a foodie as well.
Oh, he's big in the kitchen, huh?
But
yeah, good point, Wilsey. Freeman's in a nice spot. He's in a nice spot in that LA lineup. He doesn't have to do too much. He's just going to continue doing his thing. Take the occasional day off when they force him to the bench so he stays healthy. And he's in a good spot.
Yeah, Maurice Campbell is exactly right. Bo Jackson sells for more than a lot of Hall of Famers from the 80s, because people just loved him and he was so exciting. We remember Bo Jackson.
Yeah. And we've talked about that on this show and on Spitball and what goes into being collectible. And there's a lot more than just being good at baseball.
Yeah. I mean, like Ryan Sandberg, Wade Boggs, those guys were absolutely incredible. But if you ask me for like a big moment from the 80s, I'm going to remember Bo Jackson running up the wall in center field after he caught the ball.
Like, I remember the All-Star game with that bomb to center.
Yeah. And didn't he like flat foot throw a ball like from the warning track to home plate at one point?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Anyway. Yes. Bryce Harper was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I want to say it was like 17, Jeff.
Yeah, or 16, because he ended up getting out of school early, and then he went to Las Vegas and played against the college guys and hit like 500. So overall, it's similar to LeBron, a guy that came up with huge expectations and still managed to do pretty well, which you don't often see.
Yeah, CJ, I feel your pain here. That was nuts. Like the Octobers both those guys were having, Harper and Alvarez, were pretty insane. That I don't want to make it worse, but that home run that Alvarez hit off of, Alvarez hit off Alvarado was absurd. was like a 101-mile-an-hour sinker, and Jordan hit it into the party deck in center field in Minute Maid or whatever it's called now, above the wall, like just nuts. And yeah, that's brutal. I really thought, between 2022 and 2023, you would have thought the Phillies would have won one of those 2 years. I mean, they just chewed up the Braves like they were nothing. But I'm sorry to bring up some horrible memories for you. Harper is still really fun to see. And I do think there is a reasonable, I'm going to say a 10% chance that Trout ends up in Philly at some point in the next 24 months.
That would juice their chances.
Yeah. I mean, they're good. Zach Wheeler still my Cy. He was my Cy Young pick last year. He'll be my Cy Young pick this year.
Speaking of consistency, he's about as consistent as you get on the mound.
Oh yeah.
And healthy.
And yeah, that's a great point, sports guy Corey. Harper's never really had a scandal. I think he's married with, I want to say 2 kids, but I'm not really 100% sure on that. Yeah. I mean, he's never really gotten caught up in anything other than
I saw somebody mention earlier him leaving the Nationals. Even that was somewhat amicable, and he didn't get that World Series. So it was, I don't think he's hated there. I think he's appreciated.
Yes. Amari Smith. It was Harold Reynolds. And that clip is great because Harold, it doesn't understand what happened. Like when he,
like, where did that come from?
Yeah, he's like, what on earth? But hold on. Yeah, I think Harper won a home run derby too as well. But yeah, Wilsey, we actually have a Jordan Alvarez question in trivia. So bone up on Jordan. He I would be a little bit concerned about Jordan from a health standpoint. There's a lot of players moving positions in weird ways, Jeff, but like Altuve potentially playing left, but Jordan has said that he doesn't want a DH. Like he wants to play in the field. So I don't really get what they're doing. Did Altuve just have one bad year at second base, or is he just now a bad second baseman?
I don't know. That's hard to believe that his defense would go down that quickly.
And there's no way he's throwing anyone out. I know that left field is short. I mean, we've seen Alvarez hit home plate from the Crawford boxes, but I can't imagine Altuve getting anywhere close to that. Poor Pena is going to be running way out there on throws.
Yeah, it's going to be like the kids with the double cut, or Manny Ramirez with the double cut.
Yeah. Ooh. Mookie Chilson says he just won a nice Heritage Red auto. Who was it? Yeah, I mean, don't tease us now. Who are we talking about? All right, so we'll do trivia in a little bit. I just want to get to a couple other cards. I love looking at these atomics, Jeff. Okay. Speaking of red inks, perfect timing. Okay. This IG account that's like, I feel like they're after my heart and soul, Jeff. Baseball Card Fiend. He's been posting some absolutely incredible stuff, including a Francisco Lindor red ink auto here.
Yeah, I like that.
There's something about this I particularly like, Jeff, and I want to see if you can guess what it is.
That you've got a Giannis meme there.
Is that from you?
No, but I like the meme game. That they got the old centering standards.
No, the thing I like is that Lindor signed it on top of the white of his jersey. He didn't sign it where the Indians is written in red.
Yeah, he's got those 2 spots. He's either signing there or above Indians.
So he signed it in a good spot. Like, remember, one of the things about Mookie Betts' red ink is that it says he signs it right where it says Red Sox, and you kind of lose a lot of the visual of the signature. But Lindor seems to know. He's like the anti-Jackson Merrill, and he put a lot of effort into where this signature went. I appreciate that.
SFO Sox fan is familiar with this account.
Right? Yeah, Baseball Card Fiend, they post nothing for like a week at a time and then just blow up my feed with like 10 cards I really, really want that I never even saw available and probably couldn't afford anyway. So by like the 7th or 8th one, SFO Sox fan, I'm feeling the same way. I'm like, this goddamn guy, man. Just keep hitting like and scrolling around. It hurts. It hurts sometimes.
Yeah, Jordan, he's able to hit some crazy pitches.
The Red Sox had no answer for him in 2021. Absolutely none. And thankfully, he was so tired from hitting like 650 against them that he didn't do much against the Braves, which was very fortuitous. Hold on.
We haven't even got into the Vlad Endeavors week that was.
We can definitely. I would like to talk about both of those. Let's do it after trivia, though.
Okay.
Because I'm going to pull up some fun stats that's going to make people hate me. All right, hold on. Did Mookie say who he got?
No, he's still.
Oh, a 2017 Jacob deGrom.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I don't hate it. Someone's got to buy pitcher
Yeah.
cards. I mean, I did mention Zach Wheeler, and Jeff and I bought a Zach Wheeler Bowman Chrome Auto. It's definitely purely to test the theory of whether or not I can hurt people.
It's a win for Chris either way.
Exactly. It's a win either way. Well said, Jeff. Okay. But yeah, so Baseball Card Fiend, thank you for sharing the trivia again, Corey. And if you're just joining us, we're giving away a nice Shohei Ohtani refractor. It's kind of right in the middle. It's like the 1 year he didn't win MVP, so you couldn't use it for buyback, Jeff. All right.
Speaking of MVP buybacks, anybody want to judge refractor?
We'll give it away next week. All right. So Baseball Card Fiend is an account that's been shooting some absolute fire out there. But right along with him is this other account. It's called Frederick Hemingway. I don't know if any of you follow this guy or have seen any of his posts. He's a big Gunnar Henderson collector.
Wow.
But he's posted some really cool stuff. And I just wanted to take a minute. We talk about SSPs a lot on this show, Jeff. And we talk about images we like and rookie autos and Stadium Club and all that stuff. But like, it cannot be overstated that this is Gunnar Henderson's most important card.
It's still the top of the heap, and maybe even more so than before.
Yeah. I mean, every year we're getting more and more rookie cards. We're getting more and more rookie autos with less and less ink on their signatures. So these first ones, and there's even when the rainbows seem like they're getting excessive, which they are, there's still less. There's way less of these than there are rookie autos, Jeff.
And especially if you get a card like this, where you've got the gold.
Yeah, if you're ever thinking about really putting some serious money into a player you like, please just get their Bowman first. Get a true color. Get a refractor, a blue. If you can't afford a gold, and most of us can't afford golds, just get the blue and sit on it. Yeah, Matt, best Gunner by far. And it's like he does a good job with his autos on these. Puts them right in the right spot.
Battery's asking, if you didn't know that it's Gunnar Henderson's card, what name would you have guessed from the auto only? From here, maybe Yasmin Bleeth. It's kind of like a Y from here.
I think, Jeff, you always see Yasmin Bleeth, though, so I thought that might be unfair.
Kind of like
the
auto. Glaber, maybe.
Yeah, that's weird. Word. Yeah, you could convince me this was Giannis's autograph if I didn't know what it looked like.
Just a G and a bunch of squiggly lines.
Curator Cardboard saying the Rangers are going to go hard after Vlad Jr. I want to talk about this, but we're going to run trivia first.
All right, we've got a lot of people. How many people are in the trivia room?
All right, let's take a look. What do we got? We got 40 people at trivia. Anyone else wants to join in?
Win an Ohtani.
We got a nice Ohtani to give away.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Did I have another card? I think that was it. Oh, yeah. Real quick. We can share this one while we're waiting for a couple more people to join. This is usually the part of the show where my wife is just screaming into the air. So at the Burbank show or the West Coast Card Show, our good buddy Cardboard Showcase picked up this absolutely beautiful Shohei Ohtani Bowman Chrome refractor.
Yeah.
Just a really, I mean, this is a gorgeous card. It is crazy, Jeff. And for all of you people out there, what I want to say 2 years ago, you could buy these in a PSA 10 for around $2,000. And now I think the last sale was up over $6,000. It's just a special card. If you've never had a 2018 Bowman Chrome refractor in your hands, you got to just look at one. Really well made.
Yeah, that's one of it's obviously favorite or my favorite Ohtani rookie image, but especially that in that refractor looks extra cool.
Yeah, and honestly, like I would take this over the purple, and I would take this over the green. Maybe not the blue or the blue and up, but purple and green. Yeah, give me this base refractor. And if you happen to be the Padres ball boy back here, you need a copy of this card more than anybody else.
Yeah, good call. USA 1.
Nice.
Thanks, Mott's.
Was it 2-1? Oh, excuse me.
Hockey's eating into the trivia competitors.
Yeah, right.
What it says.
That's okay. It just gives everyone a better chance to win. If Colorado and Kate Krasky aren't playing, everyone else has a better chance. Andrew Anderson asking about Jackson Merrill's Bowman first. I think that it's just the non-auto they screwed up, right? Isn't the auto is the correct image, isn't it?
The auto's actually him?
I think so. Because I feel like his first non-auto and his first auto were in different sets, I think. But I'm pretty sure the auto is him because he said he won't sign copies of the non-auto because it isn't him. Yeah. Yeah, you did a good job, Cardboard Showcase. Hopefully you stole it from that guy who wanted $50 extra from Jeff and I.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently everybody's saying the game's still going. It's 2-2 at the end of the second. Mats apparently is from the future or got a hold of the Back to the Future Almanac.
Oh, he was watching a women's soccer game. They're very easily confused.
Oh, okay. USA.
Either way, yeah.
Great.
You know, we'll take any win we can get. All right, so Jeff, we're over 50 people playing trivia. I say let's do this because I want to talk about Devers and Vlad before we get into your ComC mail day if we have time.
I'll do a little preview with my Keston Hira red.
Oh yeah.
Any guesses what Bowman's best red refractors in 2018 were out of, Chris?
I mean, it could be almost anything.
It could be.
I believe it was 10.
That's correct. Of course, the red to 10.
The famously well-known red to 10.
Yep.
Ay.
Oh no. Don't do it. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, let's not do that. I'd rather Google replace now with then.
Yeah.
And it's a great excuse to go watch Basketball, which is an absolutely hilarious movie that I'm like 50-60% sure Jeff's never seen.
Never. But she's in it, then I might watch it.
It's great. It's the South Park guys.
Oh yeah. So Chris, you're a little shimmery again. Somehow you
I am a little shimmery.
That shimmery logo going.
That's all right. It covers up my face, so that's a win for all of us. All right, here we go. I'm going to hit start on trivia.
Let's do this. Everybody get in the room.
All right. Oh yeah, we're at 62 people. This is going to be
Remember,
intense.
the quicker you answer, the more points you get. But if you read it wrong twice.
Yeah, it's almost worth the risk to just throw a quick guess as opposed to wait 14 seconds and then get 6 points. All right, ready? I'm going to start this and the countdown will begin.
Okay, I'm beginning soon. We got a countdown.
Countdown.
Boy. All right. Here we go, everybody.
Take us home, Jeff.
Almost as bad as... Oh, man.
I'm not liking Norm Macdonald.
Which Topps Black Card is sold for the highest price? A 2011 update Mike Trout, 2017 Aaron Judge, 2018 Shohei Ohtani, or D, 2018 update Ronald Acuna Jr.? Which Topps Black has sold for the highest price? Glad we're going to see more Topps Blacks this year. Okay, a lot of guesses going with Mr. Ohtani, and it is the Trout by a lot, too.
Yes, the Trout sold. The Trout in a BGS 9.5 crossed $100,000 during like the COVID boom.
Which is like 4 times as much. What 2019 set is this Bo Bichette rookie image from? A, Topps Update, B, Topps Opening Day, C, Topps Stadium Club, or D, Topps Erotic?
Some people put Topps Erotic.
All right, 3 people went with the erogenous zone.
Oh, we got Jake the Snake out to a quick lead. That's a high total after 2 questions. Oh, sorry.
What franchise has the second most World Series titles? A, Cardinals, B, Dodgers, C, Braves, or D, Red Sox? Chasing number 2 after the Brewers, of course.
Of course.
It's set in Milwaukee, that movie? Oh, man.
Somewhere in the Midwest.
All lumped together. All right, we got a pretty good split here. 40% of the people got it right with the Cardinals.
Ooh, Shelly leapfrogs. Jake the Snake disappears.
Shelly. What year are Jordan Alvarez first Bowman Chrome autos? 2016, 2017, 2018, or 2019?
The sound of Jack Daniels hitting my...
Look at that. That is a very good split right there. And just about a quarter of the people got it correct.
Jeff, you were right. You said people aren't going to know that. You weren't sure. I'm
It's
surprised.
going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
Matt McNeil, which free agent did not sign with the Dodgers? Teoscar Hernandez, Walker Buehler, Kike Hernandez, or Blake Snell? Which free agent did not sign with them?
We almost went with 8 options, like all the way down to like L in the alphabet because the Dodgers just signed everybody.
Walker Buehler, all right, 2/3.
He looks good in the skinny pants in Boston, I got to say. Matt McNeil, holding strong, Mattingly rules, Maximum Freed back
Oh, back in it.
back on the leaderboard.
Shelley's right behind. How many Cy Young awards did Nolan Ryan win? A, 5, B, 3, C, 1, or D, 0 in his 27 years of Major League service, Chris?
Unbelievable. I'm going to tell you a crazy Nolan Ryan stat after this is over.
58 people went with 0. Could that be right?
Indeed it is. Good job, everybody.
No Cy Youngs.
Absurd.
What 2017 set is this Bryce Harper SSP image from? Topps Chrome, Stadium Club, or Opening Day?
Glutes, baby, glutes. That's the stat I was looking for right there.
14% got it correct. That was a tough one.
Wow, we've talked about that card on the show, Jeff.
Yes, but everybody thinks you talk about only Stadium Club and Opening
That's
Day.
true.
Who was the World Series MVP for the 2015 Kansas City Royals? Eric Hosmer, Salvador Perez, Greg Holland, Alex Gordon. Not pictured, the Rally Mantis.
I'll give you a hint. It's the guy with the thickest legs.
Ooh, thickest legs. We've also seen a picture of him tonight.
We have.
Salvador Perez is the correct answer. Mattingly Rules takes over first place. Will's creeping into the top 3. Who is photoshopped into the stands behind Josh Donaldson on his 2020 Topps SSSP? A, Kirby Puckett. B, Norm McDonald. C, Harmon Killebrew. Or D, Josh Donaldson. This one, I had no idea. So good luck. I hope everybody
It's
else.
the stupidest possible answer. Yeah, Harmon Killebrew just makes sense, right?
That's
Or
what I
Puckett.
guessed, everybody. But 11 of you are correct that a picture of Josh Donaldson is in the background of his own card.
Inexplicable thing by Topps. This is really close, guys. Last question is going to decide it.
Caleb got there. Okay, question 10. What year are Corey Seager's Topps rookie cards? 2015, 2016, 2017, or 2018? All right, this could decide it. We're going to be looking like a sub 600-point win, Chris. I'm pretty sure.
A win is a win.
Yep. Corey Seager. All right, less than half of the people. Yeah, this is, I was telling Chris.
This is a bloodbath. That
Just wanted to get revenge after everybody had easy score. Matt McNeil in third at 522.
That's a pretty good score.
That's a great score on this. Second place, Caleb, 551.
Oh.
And first place is Mattingly Rules at 570. I think that's a great score on this set of questions.
Yes, absolutely.
So Mattingly Rules.
Throwing darts in the dark. All right. So maybe I overcompensated. It wouldn't be the first time. I will.
I'm trying to warn you.
Yeah, you were right. Jake the Snake, by the way, I want to know what happened. I mean, that dude had 160 some odd points after 2 questions. We never saw his name again.
Yeah, Jake the Snake was maybe was it pure luck that he got the first 2? No.
Mattingly Rules, by the way, Jeff and I are also, Jeff is a big Don Mattingly fan back in the 1980s, still now, a classy guy. We all love him. If we'll give you this choice because Jeff and I are big Mattingly fans or big fans of 80s baseball cards, you can decide. We will send you happily the Shohei Ohtani refractor rookie that you won.
Yes.
Or we will send you a Don Mattingly rookie card of our choosing. So let us know in the comments which one of those 2 you would rather have.
Yep. Or Jake.
Yeah,
if that's true. That's sad
Yeah.
to see. Sports guy Corey tried his new strategy. Quickest answer without reading anything. Got him 95 points.
But
Gotta
so that means you got 1 out of 10. Mattingly rookie? All right, you got it, buddy. So hit one of us up on Instagram, either Baseball Card Addict or My Favorite Cardboard, and just give us your mailing address, please, and social security number. Mother's maiden name, the whole 9 yards.
Yes. Oh, that's all we need.
Yeah.
We'll ask Elon Musk for it. Joey, Mattingly, no, I don't think so. He had that 1 year where he had like 8 grand slams, and wasn't that for his whole career or something?
I was going to say, I thought he hit 24 in that 1 year. It was like him and Travis Hafner both had like absurd. They just kept coming up with the bases loaded and launching balls.
I don't think it was 24 in 1 year. I think that is the overall record. But yeah, I know he broke the record for grand slams, but I believe that was, he hit them all in that 87, I want to say. And that was it.
Sports guy Corey, that is that's impressive. I guess.
So that's what the randomizer got for you. Nice.
Hold on. Let me get a picture of it. Is that it? So we talked about Mattingly.
6 grand slams, Chris.
6 in a year. Okay.
And that was it for his career. 6 in 1 year and 6 for his career.
Give me a second here. We talked about Nolan Ryan.
Oh, poor Jake. All right. He was focused for the first 2 and then had to clear the table for dinner. Chose wife over trivia for tonight. What a guy. I wanted to see where you were going to go with that, Jake. That was...
You never want to accuse one of our viewers of lying, Jeff, but I don't know. I will give the benefit of the doubt. I hope that was the case. And I hope he did a great job setting that table. And hope next week we'll try to start a few minutes earlier so you can at least get to later, 4 or 5 questions.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right, let me pull up. So Nolan Ryan won 0 Cy Young awards because back when he was pitching, people were obsessed with wins. Nolan Ryan in his career had 198 quality starts in which he did not record a win.
Yep, one of the craziest stats of all time.
In those 198 starts, yeah, he had a 2.27 ERA and a 1.16 WHIP with a K per 9 almost at 10. So that's 198 starts with a 2.27 ERA. And in those starts, he was 0 and 107.
107 losses.
Yeah.
107 losses in games like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he'd been on good teams, like if he, instead of the Mets trading him to the Angels, if he got traded to the A's, when the A's were really dominant, or the Reds in the 70s, do you know how many wins this guy would have?
Yeah. Or even the Pirates.
Yeah.
Late 70s. Wow. Yeah. That's, it's tough. He didn't have a lot of wins. He also walked a lot of guys, so his WHIP was higher than most. Oh, there's the Donaldson. What a dumb card. dumb card. Congrats to the people that got it. Obviously, there were 11, 10 of them actually, maybe 10 of them got it right, knowingly. Yeah, Lou Gehrig, 24, right? And that's A-Rod broke that record.
Oh my God. You guys don't understand. Jeff's from the Midwest. When he says what a dumb card, that's the equivalent of like 6 F-bombs and like a stick of dynamite getting lit. Like that's as fired up as you're going to get. That's
that's the one I got wrong doing it. So it really bothered me.
It's such a silly card. So this came out, I think this was in Series 2. So he just won the MVP in the American League. So this came in Series 2. In Series 1, there's that awesome Aaron Judge card with Babe Ruth Photoshop behind him. So Jeff was like, well, obviously there's going to be a twin crate behind the AL MVP. So either Killebrew or Kirby Puckett.
And I thought since Chris threw Killebrew in, I was like, okay, well, there's a franchise legend, kind of an older player, just like the Ruth and Judge, and that's not what they went for. Bidding on this right now. I mean, it's extremely rare, and it's one of I wish they'd given Freddie Freeman one of these in 2021, but they didn't. Yes, if it's a player you like, it's probably a card you'd want to get.
It's just such a weird choice. They're like, we got to put something behind him. What do we put? Again, I'd love to. It's one of those conversations, Jeff. I would have loved to have been like a fly on the wall to hear
they might have been high as a kite and been like, oh, this is a great idea. You know what we should put behind him? Another him watching him. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Professor's Dugout. If that was Kirby Puckett, I bet this is probably like a $40 card. But if it's Puckett, I bet it's close to $200. Yeah. Kirby Puckett is so beloved. Like, what an incredible baseball player and like just a great person. Yeah. Just a huge smile back there. Oh, wow. Well, yeah.
It's just such a weird thing. That said, I do kind of want a copy of this.
Now that I'm looking at it, it'd be in the dumb card collection for
Right?
sure.
Yeah. What a dumb card. I'm going to crop that and make it a reel, Jeff.
All right, good.
All right, we got some late joiners, Thick Boy and Casey Card Connection. Thanks for joining us on this.
Hey, thanks for coming in,
Thursday
guys.
evening.
Ooh, too soon, those Bravos, too soon.
Uh-oh. What do you say? I gotta catch up.
Is that a mini-me Donaldson? I think they kind of struggled with the proportions. They tried to put him in the same proportions as the blurred out fans behind him. What the Sam Hill? Rumor has it that card ended Josh Donaldson's career. Well, it wasn't great after that. Brewers legend, Josh Donaldson.
He had a great year for Atlanta, I have to say, but then they just made no attempt to re-sign him at all. And then you start hearing some stories about him that maybe weren't great, but you know, people are what they are.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Anyway. Okay. Plumberman has the right answer. I didn't see it. Hey, Rage is here. Hey, buddy. Appreciate this gentleman coming up to say hello to us at the show on Saturday. What am I missing here? At least I think that was you. I don't know. I was like 4 cocktails in.
I believe that was SoCal Rage.
SoCal. Ah, dang it. All right. Well, I'm going to take this comment down. By the way, random aside, Jeff actually said this. This was a direct quote from Jeff at the West Coast Card Show.
Oh, boy.
Jeff said, and I quote, "Well, you're driving, so I'll buy you a drink." It's like, okay. Even the bartender was like, "Wait, what?"
Well, yeah. Out of context, it sounds bad, but I knew we were going to be there all day, and Chris wanted to buy drinks, and since it cost a $15 for a cocktail, I thought, well, I should at least pay that since Chris is driving me all the way out there. Another thing that bothered Chris was the double, right? So most times when you go to a bar, you get like a Jack and Coke. Let's say it's $10, and they'll say, "Do you want a double?" Maybe it's $15, sometimes even cheaper. Sometimes
usually the second shot's about half the price of the first.
Yeah. So it was $14 pre-tax for this single, and Chris asked how much the double is, and the guy said $28. $28 for a Jack and Coke double at the show.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a rooftop bar in Manhattan. I was like, what?
Right? Are we in Vegas at a club? Yeah. So
I was already irritated when I ordered the Jack. He pulled up the iPad with the prices, and I saw him touch top shelf. And I was like, no, sir, absolutely not.
No, I ordered Jack. I ordered Jack Daniels.
Yeah, but anyway, these are minor squabbles.
Yeah,
quibbles.
So the bar made out well.
I hope so.
Okay, Wills, they do a bag check, so you'd have to do maybe I don't know, Stadium Buddy.
Yeah, Jeff and I brought some. Oh man, why can't I think of what's the company they advertise with the Dodgers? They do the mixed drinks. Well, we had like 2 of their margaritas in line on our way in. But yeah, they looked in my bag and they saw the Coors Light I brought for Jake, and they were just like, "Yeah, whatever."
Cutwater.
Yeah, Cutwater. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, they were good.
So I don't think they would mind like a drink.
We did. We tailgated in line. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we did. We did a little parking lot tailgate. And I feel like if you're around an arena, but like something like we were, and you're in a line, then you're allowed to drink at 10:15 in the morning on a Saturday. I think that's okay.
Yeah. It was even before that. I think it was like 9:15 because we were getting in at 10. So it was early.
Yeah. Oh, I went too fast here. Oh wow, I went really fast. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Get rid of that.
It's me. It's us. Andrew's wondering if you asked the bartender if medical experts get a discount on drinks. You did not. I'm going to have to. Chris is intimately acquainted with someone who does very good graphic design work. She could probably make up a little ID a physician's ID that he could be wearing around and be thanked for his service.
Yeah. I mean, certainly I could get the PA, the physician's assistant ID. I could probably pull that off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, they were pretty good.
They're really good. I like Cutwater a lot. In fact, we should get them to sponsor the show.
We should. Them, or if my wife is still watching, and God willing, she probably isn't, but There's another company that makes cocktails, and instead of coming in cans, they come in like little glass bottles, and they do an espresso martini in there. And our Ralph's has had them, and they are very tasty.
You're talking about Jack Daniel's country coolers that come in those little glass bottles.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, Jack Daniel's should never come in a glass bottle like that.
If you drink enough, it's a natural blood thinner.
That works. Yeah.
Hey, there's SoCal Rage. There he is.
Okay. All right.
So just getting home from wonderful LA traffic. Traffic's been really bad this week, and I've been out in it a lot, so I get it. Glad you made it home. Chrissy, I do have to say it's very fortunate we get this big show out here. It's the West Coast National, I believe people were calling it, and it's huge. So, yeah, I'm very grateful.
Sports card Corey asks, which Twins card we think is dumber, this one or the Mickey Hatcher? I assume he means the big glove.
Love the big glove.
Yeah, that's great.
Big glove, big hat. Yeah, I like that. So I'd say this one's definitely dumber.
That's it. Thank you, Stephen Michael. Yeah, on the rocks. That's what they're called. Yeah, we went to my wife and I went to a 1-year-old's birthday party.
Oh,
and she brought she's one of those those cups that a lot of girls will take to the gym, but she takes hers to child's parties when she wants to drink more than anyway. So we got one of those on the rocks, and I was surprised we fit the whole thing in there. And she gave me the old, hey, we'll split it when we get there routine. But there was nothing to split.
There's nothing to split.
It was not split. Well, but she enjoyed the party more than she would have.
Cut that out for a highlight clip.
Yeah, those are pretty tasty. I highly recommend those if you guys are looking to try something different at the store. I want to say it was like $21, maybe $19.99, something like that. But it says 4 servings. So obviously that's debatable.
4 servings went right into that cup. Right into
that cup, yeah. Yeah, there you
go. Rage is saying they make those mixed drinks in pouches, adult Capri Suns.
Oh, that just screams like summertime in the pool, doesn't it?
Summertime pool, yeah. You could throw them around. You don't have to worry about them shattering on the cement as you're jumping into the pool to catch one.
All right, Rage, I appreciate that. I will make a note. We're gonna look for those because that's got summertime written all over it.
Yeah, and who was that they said they served it at work? Oh, Steven. If you work for either of those companies and would like to promote on the show, please feel free to send us any samples.
Yeah.
Sean just says lots of people with good booze knowledge here. Yeah, well, imagine that.
Purely coincidental, I'm sure. There's no crossover between the hobby and, I mean, I think this is a pretty good booze taste conversation. So that's good. Whew.
Yeah, well, you this has come up a couple times in the chat, Chris, and this made our list. I'm gonna have to show it.
While you pulled it up, I know Jeff is not a fan of coffee, the flavor in general, but depending on how much simple syrup you put in your espresso martini, Jeff, I think you will get on board. My wife doesn't like coffee on its own either, but as evidenced, she obviously put down a pretty hefty amount of espresso martinis. Oh, that's so great.
I know. So this is getting nominated as the dumbest card. Sports guy Corey mentioned. Somebody else mentioned it earlier. Didn't we do an episode like this, Chris?
We have a couple of these. Yeah, like stupid cards or bad cards. We should have called them funniest. That would have been a better adjective. But yeah, David Bednar of the Pittsburgh Pirates reenacted this on his Golden Year SSP last year.
Yeah. So go search the archives because we did have a couple of shows about that. Maybe we have to do an updated one. What the hell is that card? Exactly.
Yeah, Bob Hamelin was a weirdo. This guy looks like for sure he's lowering a basket into a well, or lowering some lotion in a basket in a well in his basement.
Vibes going on. Those dead eyes behind his glasses. Grandpa's Cardboard says that Bob Hamelin is so dumb it crosses over into great. Yeah,
this is a fantastic little side note. If you look up eBay sales, I'm pretty sure this is the highest selling base card out of this Pinnacle set. The museum collection Griffey is really popular. People like it, but base cards that you get
a future Hall of Famer. No,
you get a few bucks for this if you dig one out of a box. Yeah, it definitely puts the lotion in the basket. Sure.
The price, by the way. Yes, exactly. People want it.
Yeah. And I don't know how often Bob Hamelin does signings. I don't know if Bob Hamelin's alive. But if he does signings, this is the only thing you ever get Bob Hamelin to sign.
Where would you get him to sign that? I was just thinking that. Where would you have him sign this, Chris? It's kind of limiting. Would you ever
Yeah,
do a
definitely.
sideways
Probably on the
signature?
left. Oh, that's not going to do anything. Yeah, I would say to the left of Bob, kind of like if you can do it at an angle, like up to his mouth,
Up to
kind of
his
the left side
jowls?
area.
Jowls area?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
something
On
like
the
that.
lips. Empire says on the lips.
Right across his mouth.
Yeah. Right across the face.
I mean, you may as well, honestly, give him like a bright red marker and go right across the lips.
Yeah, that's Glenn Hubbard rage. The it's a I think Dave's mentioning it's a python officially. It's a giant snake, whatever it is.
Yeah, we can. I mean, whatever the snake is, it doesn't matter.
I think he died the last couple of years. Okay, well maybe you won't get the chance to get a signature.
Oh, I wonder how many of these have been. I wonder if there are copies of this that have been like certified at PSA, like graded, and be an interesting thing to look at.
Wait a minute. So somebody said he died, but Steven says he's 57, went to high school in Irvine. He might be near us.
I don't. Someone in our chat is from the future because they know the score of the hockey game that ended, and they know that Bob Hamelin has died, even though he's still alive. So
now watch, we're going to get the notice tomorrow. Major League veteran Bob Hamelin passes away, 57.
Yeah,
57. So he's not that much older than we are. That's I feel like that card is from a long time ago. Oh,
and he is significantly older than us, Jeff. Let's be realistic.
Okay, all right.
All right. Let's come on now. Even in that photo, he looks older than we are now.
Abel, I'm not sure if you're just trolling us because we've talked about this a few times earlier tonight. But yes, we mentioned the 2007 Tulowitzkis and others.
Matt, I gotta strongly disagree with you here.
Boy,
Blooper is great.
Stretching with blooper cards.
Yeah. What's interesting to me, Jeff, is how these mascots are frequently on cards of players from other teams.
Yeah.
We have like the Fanatic with Jose Fernandez back in 2014. And then Blooper has that Bryce Harper SSP. And I think it's Brandon Marsh in Series 1.
What?
He's on with as well this year. I love Blooper. Blooper's great. He's like in between the Fanatic and Gritty. No,
well, the thing is with, like, as you mentioned, Jose Fernandez, he would always be hugging the closest giant creature he could find, right? It's another reason it's really sad we lost him because we would have got some great cards of him over the years.
Yeah. Oh, the chicken in San Diego? It is Marsh. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ATL Jeff Black. Okay, so let's take a minute here. Jeff, I don't know. I can't look in Bob Hamelin's eyes any longer. It's starting to.
Yeah, let me take him down. There you go.
So what do you guys think about the situation in Boston? How do you think this is going to this is a fantastic analogy. By the way, I was actually at Jeff's house with his wife. I forget, we were there for I think it was my wife's birthday a couple years ago, Jeff. We were meeting you and your wife for cocktails. And I got my wife a card as a present. Do you remember this? And you were nervous.
I remember the card.
You were very concerned that this was going to end. I was going to get punched or stabbed or something. But the card I got her, I wish I had it in front of me here. I got her a Gritty. Gritty has a hockey card from Upper Deck, and it's like an oversized box topper. So I got it for her, and she was like, really, it's probably one of the gifts I've gotten her she's enjoyed the most, which shocked Jeff and even more so shocked his wife. But we're trying to figure out a way to get that autographed. I don't know if Gritty does signings. I don't know if he would just tear it up or punch me in the face. I don't know. He's a strange guy.
The paw print? Does he have paws? What does he have? Does he?
I don't know. That's a great question. What does he have on his hands?
Yeah. Kids love mascots. That's true. Eloy, appreciate the appreciation. It was great having that interview. If you haven't seen it with us, please check out last week. We had Fanatics Collectibles CEO Mike Mann. Hey, there's Gritty.
He even gets the Young Guns, which if you're a hockey collector, these are like the cards. And look at it. Speaking of like Bob Hamelin's dead eyes, look at these things. These will keep you awake at night.
I mean, that's nightmare fuel. I know kids love mascots, but man.
By the way, if you ever have like 10 minutes to kill, just Google on YouTube like Gritty highlights. Ooh. And the stuff he does to fans is just spectacular. I don't know honestly how he gets away with some of this stuff.
Rage calling out Pat Listash. Yes, Pat Listash was great. He was a speedster on those bases, and then kind of flamed out. But he's a really good coach and minor league manager. Yeah. The battery says that Hamelin's Wikipedia page says his 1996 Pinnacle Foil baseball card is commonly referred to as the worst baseball card of all time.
I don't know. For me personally, the Jason Dominguez on his cell phone is the worst baseball card of all time. But or possibly Brooks Robinson, We'll see.
Yeah, poor Brooks. Oh,
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on this. I don't know, like, I actually, in a rare moment, I fully agreed with Harold Reynolds on the MLB Network. He said
What?
he could not believe that the Red Sox did not speak to Devers at all before signing Bregman.
which they cannot have, or they wouldn't have this disagreement, right?
Like, they must have. He's like, it seems like they haven't, but they
Insane.
must have, right? And it just sort of hung in the air. It's a really weird thing. It sounded like they signed Bregman to play second base, but there's obviously no getting around the fact that Devers is a bad third baseman.
And you signed a Gold Glove third baseman.
So I think I think they'll start with Devers at third and Bregman at second. This is just how I feel about this. That's what I would do, and see if Devers gets better. See if this can drive him to make him a better player. He's already
was
really
saying
good.
in the chat today when I was on with Teapot, because Teapot's theory is, well, you just wait till Devers blows a game, then you move Bregman over, and maybe he'll be inspired. I've never felt like he hasn't worked on his defense, but maybe this is just what he needs.
Yeah, he's never been pushed. They've never had someone else on the roster that could play it, and that they're one of their best prospects, Christian Campbell, is a second baseman. So so I would say this will all come down to A, how bad does Devers play in April at third base?
Yeah.
B, how well does Christian Campbell play at AAA for the Red Sox? And C, how horrible is Yoshida as their DH?
I mean, eventually they're just going to have to bite that bullet with Yoshida. If he's this bad, they're going to just have to cut him.
Yeah, so I think April, we'll see how that goes, because I think the most logical thing would be cut Yoshida. Just move him along. Like, the check is already written. He's done. Put Devers at DH, bring Campbell up to play second, put Bregman at third. And that's probably your best team on the field. But I think they have to let that sort of happen organically. And Rage, I'm with you. I think it's a shocking amount of disrespect to Devers to just bring Bregman in without running it by him. He is the face of your team. He's the guy you gave $300 million to.
$300 million.
Yeah.
And
you knew he was bad. Like, you knew his defense.
A series of bad PR things, trading Betts, who was a fan favorite, letting Bogarts go, which was maybe the right move for the franchise, but still the way they handled it wasn't great.
It was crazy. Like, they could have extended Bogarts earlier, but they didn't. And instead they signed Trevor Story for some absolutely absurd reason. Who knows? As the Red Sox look really good on paper right now, but if they didn't have the Story and Yoshida contracts, man, I bet that they could have gone after Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there. Devers is the clubhouse. Yeah, it's his team. Like, they chose him to be the guy. And they knew at that when they signed him, his defense wasn't great. So it seems like this is a crazy thing. The Cora comments, Jeff, really led me to believe that this isn't as cut and dry as we think it is. Like, it's up in the air. Like, I thought for sure Bregman would just go to second, and that would be that. But Cora said it's all about the team. It's not about me. It's not about Devers or Bregman. It's about what's best for the Red Sox.
Oh.
So we shall see. We'll see how this
saying that it's a win-win competition.
Yeah, someone else mentioned, Vaughn Grissom and Marcelo Mayer. I mean, let's be realistic. Trevor Story is not going to play the whole season. Mayer is going to get in. He's going to be a shortstop at Fenway at some point this year, and he looks great. As far as Grissom goes, I don't know. I love the kid. He can really hit. It's a great ballpark for righties. So maybe he and Christian Campbell can fight it out in AAA and see who gets the first call up. We'll see. Yeah. Jay Marble, I think that's right. I think the only change I might make is put Story on the IL and put Mayer at shortstop.
Story is going to be joining Anthony Rendon on the permanent IL.
Yeah. It would be amazing, though, if Trevor Story just blows up this year. He plays 140 games, hits like 30 home runs.
It could happen. It could happen. My son said he thought this was Blabbing with Saban. Said that would be a cool podcast. Yeah. No Nick Saban here. It's just me and Chris.
But I mentioned this I posted a Devers card on Instagram, and I kind of was discussing this there is a very specific historical comp to this exact moment.
Are you talking about the one I was saying with the Jeter A-Rod?
That's right. In 2003, A-Rod won the Gold Glove at shortstop, and Jeter put up minus 13 defensive run saves. Like, horrible. And they traded for A-Rod, and he went right to third base.
Right to third base, and that was not what was best for the team defensively, but they thought for the clubhouse. That's what
over the next 5 years with A-Rod at third and Jeter at short. Jeter averaged minus 18 defensive run saves. Minus 18.
And you've got a Gold Glover right next to him. I mean, you just if you're A-Rod, I mean, yeah, you were making ridiculous amounts of money, but still, that's got to be a blow. Like if you know that you could be over there playing that much better.
It's got to be brutal. Every ground ball that goes up the middle, you're like, do you guys want me to get those, or what are we doing here? Yeah, but I mean, I think they just decided like placate Jeter's ego, leave him there because it's it's his team. But this was Devers' team, so I can see there's like these are people. It's not just numbers. It's not just stats. You're dealing with personalities and humans. So we'll see what
especially that contract they gave him. Like, did you see the contracts that he turned down from Houston and Detroit were rumored to be in like the $175 to $180 million for 6 years. And he ended up getting $40 million a year. I was telling Chris the highest ever for a guy coming off an OPS plus of 118.
Which plays at second base a lot more than it plays at third, by the way.
For sure, but $40 million for a second baseman.
Yeah. He is in a good ballpark for him, though. But he was in a good ballpark in Houston as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did see someone here. Eloy De La Garza says he's seen Marcelo Mayer play since he was 13, and he does not have the arm to play shortstop. And if that's true, that's a third guy that can play second base in Boston.
All right, there you go.
Actually, yeah. Fourth guy. Sorry. We have Bregman, Mayer, Christian Campbell, and Vaughn Grissom. So,
yeah. And have a plethora of second basemen. Gary Sheffield wouldn't ask. He would just not get the ball, or he'd get it and throw it in the stands.
Yeah, he would get it and throw it in the stands and be like, "Whoops, a daisy." So I don't know. We'll see how this. There is a world where the Red Sox decide to, 100% rage. It's not even close.
I didn't see what did Casas say?
I believe Andrew looks like Andrew MA is probably a bigger Red Sox follower than I am. But the sort of truncated version I saw is that he came out and was like, "Devers is my third baseman. Like, we follow his lead. That's the guy we want over there. He works on it. Like he is our guy. He should be playing third. No one in the minors has done anything." So, I mean, I thought that was great.
No one in the minors has done anything, but the guy that won the Gold Glove in the same league at that position is now.
I think that's what you want. That you want your teammates supporting each other. And I think Bregman will probably play a better second base than Devers can. I think we can all comfortably agree on that. I don't know. I think they'll give it a month and see how he does. And then I would hate for them to. There is a world, though, where it blows up, right? Where they tell him, like, listen, your defense is not good enough. We want you to DH. And it's tough when you're 28 years old. But if they tell him he has to DH, there's also a world where this becomes an issue.
And they trade him. He and Vlad end up on the same team. I don't know if I put that one up. Somebody made the comment. Oh, no, Matt did. It's almost like bringing Vlad into Philly without telling Harper. They just bring him in. Oh, wait, where are you going to play? Oh, same spot I play? Okay. Yeah.
Weird. Really strange. But here's my thing about if they trade him. I was up. I couldn't sleep last night or the night before. I was just running through trade scenarios for Devers.
Smart.
So I think the most likely spot for him is Philly. Like Bohm goes to Boston, or maybe they don't even take Bohm back, but like Bohm's not great. He's okay. Devers better. So that would work. But I feel like there's a lot of places, Jeff, where if they traded him, that team would just turn around and trade him right to the Yankees. And that's got to be something the Red Sox have to consider. That if Devers became available, the number one team that would want him is their biggest rival.
And that's one of maybe 5 teams that could pay his contract.
Right.
So
they might think
limited.
They might think they trade him to, I don't know, they trade him to the Angels.
Yeah.
Hypothetically. Nothing's going to stop the Angels from calling the Yankees and being like, let's go.
Yeah. Then they get Devers and Trout in a deal and send some prospects.
I mean, yeah, that would I don't know about that, but I mean, then I laid in bed. I'm like, what? I mean, just Devers, you just pencil him in for 60 home runs a year in Yankee Stadium. Rage, I don't want him to leave. I love him in Boston, and hopefully he stays. And hopefully there's a statue of him outside the ballpark, 25 years from now. But this needs to be worked out. Probably there's a financial thing they could do. Like, you're going to DH, we'll extend you 2 more years, something like that. They could buy it out of him. But if you're 28 years old, Jeff, you don't want to DH.
And 2 more years, that would take him pretty far. He's got a lot of years left.
He does.
Interesting. Bob Hamelin says the worst card of all time isn't even the worst card of him. That would be an 88 minor league card with the Eugene Emeralds. Kind of makes me want to look it up here.
Yeah, see what you can find. I do see, let's see, Elite 305 card says we need a second super team to compete with the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, he is. Oh, this is obviously, as M. Parsons points out, this would be nightmare fuel for all of us, though, if the Red Sox are trading to the Dodgers. I would say the Dodgers and Phillies would be the two teams he's not leaving. Like, they're going to keep him. That would be horrible. Absolutely horrible. So let's not even put that into the just imagine. We're looking at a lineup that's like Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Teoscar, Devers. I mean, with 9 starting pitchers, like, we don't need to play the season, guys. We can just move on.
Okay, so
you found it?
Yeah, let me see if I can get a better. Hold on. Let me get a. So it's just kind of an unflattering picture of him, I guess.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No,
looks like your typical Dale Murphy card from the mid '80s.
This looks like he's a young guy, just getting his feet wet. Sports
guy Corey. If you ignore money, then for sure there isn't a person alive who would rather have Max Muncy at third over Rafael Devers.
No way.
It's not even close. Like, it's not close.
No. I mean,
it's, Peanut Butter says if the worst comes to worst, they'll just trade him to the Dodgers. And I hope not. And Stephen Michael, this is actually really interesting. There is a Netflix doc about the Red Sox, but it's not this year. I think it's last year's team. And I'm really excited to watch that. If you saw the Tristan Casas clips that have been going around, it looks really interesting. Like, they got a lot of really good footage. They're in there close. It should be interesting.
They probably would right now. They have enough pitchers that they could fill 2 teams. Wills split squad. Both teams could get a wild card.
Yeah. Rage. I actually did not hear what Big Papi said about it. I know he's there. I think I saw clips of him at camp, but no, I didn't hear it. So if you could send me that on Instagram, like if you could find that clip of it, I'd love to see it. Or if you want to paraphrase it right here. Muncy is crazy. Like, he and Ohtani got on base in the NLCS last year 17 times in a 6-game series. They both set that record for most times on base in an NLCS. And then he didn't get on base once in the World Series. I think he was 0 for the World Series. So he is extremely streaky. I feel like if you just attack him, anything can happen. His defense is questionable. He's built like Gimli, son of Gloin.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Be a lot of deferrals.
Yeah. Well, actually, I bet they could just pay Devers right now.
Well, they could. Yeah. They sure could.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, Jeff, this comment's for you.
Oh, loved. Thank you. Yeah, Dalton's got a great office in the basement. They finally let me out of the basement for a couple episodes down the road, so I get to be out in the world. And Chris, NCIS Origins today got picked up for season 2. So
that's awesome.
There'll be more work next week, hopefully.
More work and more cards. That's the important thing. More cards, Jeff. Yep. More cards. Your character, the thing, I think I mentioned this before, but like the thing I really enjoyed the last episode where Jeff's character got like some more screen time is other characters talked about him, which is really cool. I feel like a lot of that stuff is underrated. There used to be a big thing in older movies where they would introduce like the Paul Newman character, I think in The Sting. They talk about him for like 2 minutes about what a brilliant like schemer he is. And he's on top of the world. And then when you introduce him, he's hung over and he's sleeping on the floor of his apartment.
Yeah,
stuff like that is fantastic.
It's about right. Me in my office.
Yeah, you in your basement.
Thank you, Kai. Shut the door. Yes. My wife said that was her favorite line because she said I did it how I yell at the kids when they're supposed to be in bed. And
well, we're trying to blab, and they come in to show you their Pokemon cards.
Shut the door. Shut it. Oh, this is sad but true, Stephen. Air Disasters got picked up for 8 more seasons.
Oh, at minimum. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately.
At minimum. Well, anything else you wanted to add, Chris?
Yeah, I guess we'll save your ComC. We'll save your ComC returns for next week. It's kind of fun to go through. Jeff had his big order come in, and we thought it'd be fun to go through what he got, why he bought it, how crazy he is, some of the funny stuff in there.
I did, and it took a long time. Let me I'll just show one card for any of my 80s fan friends out there. This is a card I did not have as a kid. It's the 1987 Team Preview Brewers Sportflix card.
Yes.
Remember these?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have this one as a kid. So when I saw it on there, I'm like, I gotta get it. It's got Dale Swaim. Yeah. So cards like this, we can talk about it next week.
Jeff, who is it? Oh, yeah, well, I'll bring this up next time. I don't want to. I did want to. So the other topic that was brought up briefly was Mr. Guerrero.
Oh yeah,
and what we think about him. Toronto is in. They have got to have more pressure on them than any other team in baseball this season. They have got to win.
Yeah,
they're just they can't lose. So I don't know.
Yeah, and if they are looking like they're going to lose, are they going to trade him, get rid of him?
They have to, right?
For him in the for the stretch run. I kind of feel like that's going to be coming. So the trade deadline should be interesting this year.
Yes, Curator Cardboard, excellent copy and paste here. Wrong thing. Rojo, we'll talk about it next week. I'm sorry to say, we'll get into the ComC stuff next week. Damn it, there we go. Whew. I could see the Rangers going hard, and man, he and Corey Seager with like Guerrero, Seager, Adolis. I mean, that's a really interesting 3-4-5 for sure.
Yeah, if they can get some healthy pitching and those young guys like Carter and Langford to step up.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Toronto, if they're out of it, they have to trade him. They're going to have to trade him, have to trade Bichette, rip the whole thing down, and just kind of start over, which is painful.
Yeah,
it's sad to think that with the nucleus they had, they never got. Did they ever get to the DS? I feel like it was the wild card round they lost it every year.
The wild card. Somebody will correct us in the comments if they did, but it's too bad. And they've tried. I got to give them credit. They've tried for some big names, and it just hasn't worked out for, I'm sure, a lot of reasons. But that doesn't give me hope for their future ability to build. If they can't build around this homegrown nucleus that they had, I don't know.
And it was really good, Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo Bichette last year killed him, unfortunately. He got hurt like 4 times. What do you guys think about him this year? For example, I was discussing a potential trade for him in a fantasy league. So obviously I would be ruining him, but outside of that.
Well, you can't ruin him any worse, and it's a buy low, so it's got to be a buy low. I don't know what you give up to get him.
I don't either. Yeah, I can't imagine the Bichette card market or the Bichette fantasy market being very high. I think he was ranked like 170th on the ESPN single season ranking, something like that.
But he's another guy who could overperform.
He could. I mean, they're both in contract years. Like it's a put up or shut up year for Bo for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to see that team be good. I'm an unabashed non-Yankee fan. I would be very entertaining to see them finish 4th this year.
And there's a possibility they've got some good teams in that division.
They do.
Some fun teams to watch.
But yeah, BFG. I think Bo's going to be extra motivated. He cut his hair off. For goodness sakes, time to try something new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that, man, I want them to be good. I really, just because I want to see Guerrero in the ALCS. I think that'd be great. Great for baseball.
And he might, just not on that team.
Oh, you're right. You don't think so this year?
Hmm.
I look forward to our season preview episode. I think we might. Usually you and I do disagree a little bit.
Yeah.
On those. So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
Also, I'm always wrong.
I don't see the Blue Jays doing it, but you never know.
Yeah, anything can happen. And if you're ownership and you're in it, if you're close, you've got to go for it, right? You got to trade whatever you can to go for it.
Especially now, you're not going to get that many chances. So
no, and I think it's pretty clear. Guerrero said they weren't close, so he's not going back there.
No,
it's someone. Curator said
he's
Texas.
Excited about free agency.
Yeah. I was going to say Boston made a lot of sense, but at this point, they'd almost certainly have to trade Casas if to get him in there. So the Mets are just seeming like the Mets and Texas probably get into a pretty big bidding war.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Schweiger is exactly right. I don't know what the Orioles were doing. I don't know if it's him or the ownership. I don't know. A very disappointing, not as disappointing as Seattle if you're a Seattle fan. Absolutely brutal offseason for Seattle.
Or a Brewer fan. The only signing we made is that pitcher from Japan.
Yep.
26-year-old Irvin.
Yes,
Rodriguez.
John, the Orioles did move in a wall in left field, or at least they lowered it. I think they moved it in a little bit.
They moved it in a little,
Yeah. It's I don't know. Yeah, I think the Guerrero thing is going to be absolutely fascinating. He could, man. I mean, has anyone lost 2 marquee players like that in 1 year? Like 2 walkier guys? Like Bichette hits 320 and Guerrero hits 45 homers and they both leave. Has that ever happened? Like when Beltre left the Dodgers, was there anyone else leaving with him?
Man, I don't think so.
That's a great thing for us to ponder and see if anyone else can come up with something else. Hopefully to the Braves. I mean, we could use Bichette, but there's nowhere to put Guerrero and nowhere to put Devers. Although, no, if he doesn't want a DH, then there's nowhere to put Devers.
Yeah, but if they burn the bridge far enough, he'll go anywhere and DH somewhere else.
We'll do a Marcell Ozuna for Rafael Devers trade right now, Jeff. Get a right-handed DH in Fenway.
Oof.
Oh, man, we go Devers, Riley, Matt Olson right in the middle of that lineup. Oof, I'm getting some movement. Not going to lie.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Oh, Grandpa's cardboard. I mean, we can't. It's no pity party for the Brewers right now, Jeff, when we got a White Sox fan.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's not great. It is not great.
Yep. Okay, you know what is great, though, are Kirkland brand chicken chunks.
Oh, can you smell them cooking? I
can hear the air fryer, Jeff.
Oh, okay. That's the sound. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. Next week, we'll do the ComC. Great job with trivia, everybody, tonight. That was a tough one. So yeah, kudos on the win for that. A really White Sox fan. Poor White Sox. Yeah, I know a couple of them, and they're just.
Yeah, it's hard to see the light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah,
if you're a White Sox fan, you just hope Luis Robert has 2 good months and you can trade him for something real good.
Trade him for some young players, I guess. Yeah.
But again,
all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us.
Happy anniversary, Jeff. Happy anniversary to anyone who watched our first
said
YouTube 2 years
Cotton
ago.
anniversary. So I don't know. Maybe a patch.
Wait, what? Oh, 2 years is cotton?
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Oh, sounds like a new pair of boxer briefs.
Yeah, that's all right. Check your mailbox. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. Please check out Spitballin' Cards. We got a couple episodes out this week, as well as the live today that Teapot and I did talking about Wembenyama.
That sounds like your line from The Lion King.
Wembenyama. So thanks everybody. Call your parents, hug your pets, and we will see you next week.
Oh, play some music, Jeff.
I gotta get back to the music. Where is that? All right. How about a little bit of
Yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Behave yourself.
Baseball. Yeah, unofficial baseball games are here.
All right.
Run this weekend.